going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video and to another week of The Bad Batch. I can't believe we're already on the 5th episode. This one's called Rampage. Really thoroughly enjoyed the episode. Definitely more of an action adventure, like side story kind of episode, you know, kind of just a stepping stone towards the progression of the narrative. We've seen it done tons in these Star Wars shows, so this is just another one of those episodes. The Bad Batch are landing on Ord Mantell and are looking for somebody named Sid that Echo knows from the Clone Wars days, and pretty much says, hey, I don't know what this person looks like, but I know that the Jedi used to work with them. They end up meeting up with this person. It's a Trandoshan woman who kind of, you know, deals with underworld sorts of things, and pretty much says, hey, I'll give you information that you want to know on Fennec Shand, which they don't know that at the time, but on the bounty hunter who was looking for them in the last episode, which is Fennec Shand, if you do this mission for me, which was to go and get this child named Muchi that's being held captive nearby, or at least on the same planet. And so they end up going to do that, and when they get there, they end up discovering that the child is not just some kid, it is a baby Rancor, or at least a kid Rancor, which was interesting to see. And yeah, pretty much that was the whole episode, was the Bad Batch working to go and save this kid Muchi that turns out to be a Rancor, so they can bring that kid back. We get a little tease that the person who's actually talking to Sid and the person who actually hired Sid to actually get the Bad Batch involved in order to go get this Rancor. I knew as soon as I heard the voice that it was Bib Fortuna, and it was indeed Bib Fortuna, so we know that the Rancor was owned by Jabba, so that was nice. A nice little connection. Didn't really show us anything else other than that, but it just seemed like a nice cameo from Bib Fortuna. Maybe Jabba's going to be involved in the season a lot more as we move forward. Very curious to see. But yeah, outside of that, the other little small moments is we get to see Wrecker struggling again with some headaches. I'm guessing that he's having some issues with his inhibitor chip. I'm kind of going to guess at some point throughout this show that each of the different Bad Batch members may struggle with their inhibitor chip at some point. We already see that Crosshair is on the dark side right now because of that, and I think that we may be seeing Wrecker lead down that direction. But yeah, outside of that, a fun action episode, fun adventure action episode. Really enjoying seeing Omega grow as a character in these various episodes. She didn't have too much character growth in this episode per se, but I just really enjoy her eagerness to be out there with the Bad Batch, even if they're not necessarily going to allow her to be. And yeah, this is like the second or third time now that she's kind of saved their ass in some way. So I'm really enjoying the way that they're putting her character into the mix here. I will say also, the Bad Batch were taken out pretty quick by the slavers at the beginning of this episode. Obviously, it was mainly because Omega is supposed to come in and save the day, but for a group of people that are supposed to be elite, they were taken out fairly quickly at the beginning of this episode. And later in the episode, we do see that Omega actually ends up picking up one of the slavers, like wrist wielded bowcaster. So I'm very curious to see if that's going to be her weapon of choice moving forward in the show, and if she's kind of going to get her own version of that moving forward. But yeah, overall, really enjoyed the episode of Rampage. Just a good, fun action adventure Star Wars episode. Looking forward to finding out who it was that Fennec Shand was hired by. My assumption was that it was somebody in the Empire, but who knows? It could be somebody else. It's just great to know that we have characters from The Mandalorian now crossing over into this. It was nice to see Bib Fortuna get that little connection to Jabba and his attachment to Rancors, and just to see a young Rancor, Wrecker, and the Rancor end up going head to head at a certain point near the end of the episode. And yeah, this was just a silly, fun, cute episode with some cool action and some cool action adventure elements, but outside of that, this wasn't really a plot heavy episode. So that's going to be my quick thoughts on The Bad Batch episode 5, titled Rampage. Definitely want to hear what you guys have to say about this episode. Hit that like button, comment your thoughts, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.